Welcome, Minnesota Timberwolves fans. Thank you for joining this emergency edition of Timberwolves Today here on FanArch. I am your host, Mark Fiers, bringing you all of the Minnesota Timberwolves offseason news. I need to throw out a shout out to our sponsor. First of all, Kalshi. Basketball season is over. It was phenomenal and thrilling. The draft is now over, but on Kalshi, where you used to be able to trade each game, each series, the NBA Finals, draft picks, and now you can trade on more. Where players are going, futures picks, it's all there. You can trade anything on Kalshi. All right, emergency edition. I had my podcast recorded. I was going to talk about Jaylen Brown. I was going to tell you that the LaMelo deal was improbable. Going to talk about Isaiah Evans. But here we are. The Minnesota Timberwolves, as I'm sure you are all aware right now, hopefully I'm not breaking this to you, have traded for LaMelo Ball. And Josh Green, don't forget him. He's scored like 4.5 and 1.5 rebounds last year. LaMelo Ball for Naz Reid, a 2033 unprotected first, a first-round pick swap in 28, 29, and 30, and 3 second-round picks in 29, 32, and 33. We are going to have no draft picks coming up. I guess we'll have some first-round pick swaps, which hopefully they will be better, and we'll move up there. But reaction. Go back 3 weeks in these pods. You will find a cover athletes, basketball players are Tyler Hero and Anthony Davis. It's 3 weeks ago. It's 2.6 thousand views on that podcast. You can find it. Go back and see how I break down LaMelo Ball being honestly a perfect fit for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He provides the off-ball scoring that we need. He provides three-point shooting. He provides creativity. He provides a way to get our big guys the basketball. Strong ball handler, distributor, true point guard. On paper, he is the absolute perfect fit for this team. Now, I thought we were going to have to give up Rudy to get him, but we end up having to get rid of Naz. How do I feel about this trade? Personally, I think LaMelo Ball is a clown. I think that he... you saw the video of him punching the clown on that jump scare in the stairwell. He said he wanted to be president of the United States one day, which we're just going to leave that there. There's the whole shenanigans with his dad coming into the draft. I think that has since passed. He's kind of a loose cannon. I'm worried that this trade is going to disrupt the balance that Anthony Edwards had talked about, that Kendrick Perkins had talked about, of being a group of guys that had a bond, that had a brotherhood. And we're talking about that core of Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, and Naz Reid. Now, could LaMelo fit into that? Could there become a brotherhood and a chemistry there that could develop within the next X number of months? For sure. I definitely think that is possible. Does this make the Minnesota Timberwolves a better team? On paper, I think it makes Anthony Edwards better. In turn, that makes the Minnesota Timberwolves better. What do we lose? Well, we're not losing defense per se because didn't trade Rudy. Naz is an average defensive player who has room to improve, just like Cat improved his defense. But it is definitely a concern. Will this be a more exciting team to watch? I think it definitely could be. I think it opens up a lot offensively. It opens up some creativity. And I think the bottom line is it makes Anthony Edwards a better player. So, initial reaction, if I am if I am a basketball fan, or I am a reporter, an analyst, and I'm not from Minnesota, and I don't have a history with Naz Reid, I don't have the bias towards LaMelo Ball and just his personality and shenanigans and all that kind of stuff, I actually think this is a phenomenal trade for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But I cannot ignore the fact that we're getting rid of Naz Reid, we're breaking up some chemistry, and we're getting a guy who is a question mark. We just don't fully know what we're going to get. But the numbers speak for themselves. The talent speaks for itself. I think the Wolves are a better team. Personally, I just don't want LaMelo. And again, I think if you remove all that personality, all that history, we love this trade, but it is for sure a wait and see. All right. The trade structure, however, basically what is happening is you are combining this trade with what happened with Julius Randle. And the reason why Josh Green was thrown in is because the outgoing contracts of Naz Reid and Julius Randle at about $54 million, $56 million equals the incoming salary of LaMelo Ball at $40 million and Josh Green at $14 million. So what this essentially does is it still keeps the Timberwolves out of the second apron, potentially avoiding the luxury tax, although I don't think that's possible. I think the Wolves will have to go into the luxury tax to add what they are missing with the departure of Naz Reid. So the trade structure itself, the cap-wise, I honestly just don't think it changes a whole lot. I think we're kind of at a position where we were prior to the Julius Randle trade. There's still lots of roster concerns, which I'll get to in the final segment. But the picks, we lose the 2033 pick. It is unprotected. That is 6 years down the road. We could be horrible in 6 years. If this gets us a chance to win a championship, if it gets us to the finals, if it gets us a championship, we don't care about that 23-33 first. We have to bank that first, no matter what, whether we have Anthony Edwards at that point or not, will be a mid to late round pick anyway. So I'm not too concerned about that. The pick swaps, not too concerned about that. What does Kalshi say? That's really the question that we have to be asking ourselves, because with Kalshi, you can trade on anything. You can trade on futures. And if you want, you can look at the odds or the trade value of the Minnesota Timberwolves winning the NBA Finals this upcoming year. Now, I can't remember the date, but if you go back, you can find it, that I did cover the futures of the Wolves, I believe, at 2 or 3%. They were the 8th team. You can see now they have moved up to the 6th behind Oklahoma City, San Antonio, Boston, New York, Miami, who got the jump with Giannis, and now Minnesota, who's trading at 8%. And so a $100 trade will get you essentially $1,700. And actually it's changing right now, because as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. The probability is always changing. And so if you are looking to get in on this action, go to futures, trade on call sheet. You're trading against peers in a live market. There's no house, and as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of the position. For a limited time, you can still download the Call Sheet app if you have not already, and use the code FANARCHBASKETBALL to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Call Sheet. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see callsheet.com/regulatory. All right. 2 words. Thank you. Thank you, Naz Reid. Undrafted in the University of Louisiana State, or Louisiana State University, sorry. Get LSU alum upset at me about that. From LSU, undrafted, became a fan favorite. 2 words, Naz Reid, got the towel. I'm in my office at work because I had to do this emergency podcast. I don't know. I'll probably leave the towel up. You know that towel. It's autographed by Naz Reid. I don't have a tattoo. Many people here in Minnesota got a tattoo with Naz Reid's name. It's sad he never got a chance to start. It's sad that we never saw his full potential. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if he can be a 20-point scorer in the NBA, but I know what we miss. We will miss his shooting. We will miss his energy. We will miss his personality. We will miss the smile. He got the little gems on the teeth there. I don't know if they're still there. A fan favorite. Great for the team, great for the chemistry, great for the locker room. We're going to miss that. It will definitely be a change with LaMelo. And I don't think that can be underestimated. And if things go south, it is because of the impact that Naz Reid has. We'll miss him in the community. We'll miss him in Minnesota. But this is the modern NBA where guys just move. Valued guys, beloved guys move at a moment's notice. So that is Naz Reid. Thank you. Best of luck in Charlotte. They are getting a gem in you, Naz. Yeah, that is it. New roster. Could we potentially be starting LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Ayo Dosunmu, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert? We are small. We are quick. We are athletic. We have Rudy in the middle still. But that could be the starting lineup because right now we're not. Josh Green isn't starting. I could see us actually trying to trade him. Trade him for a pick. Anything can happen in trades. I think they try and get rid of that $14 million, free that up to something else. Berenger isn't ready to start. Having him and Rudy next to each other, that's a gigantic concern. They need somebody else. They need depth. They need big guys. There are big holes that we have on the front line. And the thing that really is the concern is when you looked at the Spurs, we looked at the value of Naz, it was his ability to stretch the court to bring Wemby outside the lane with his height. We don't have that. Jaden can shoot, right? He made a gigantic jump this year. Fell off a little bit at the end of the season, but do expect Jaden to be essentially from here on out a career 36 to 39 per 40% three-point shooter. So new roster. Again, big holes on the front line. We should have a mid-level exception plus minimum contracts to add back in. I would still love for us to go up and still switch up this roster a little bit. Not bring back all the same guys. I think we've definitely signaled a gigantic change in our roster. And so lean into it, go with it. Man, still trying to process everything. I started recording this essentially like 15 minutes after Shams broke the news. So might be at a little loss of words right now, not know exactly where to go with this, but yeah, we'll be back. We'll have more details. We'll get reaction. We'll come back tomorrow, get you more details on this trade, more reaction, thoughts, the fallout, if you will, of the trading of Naz Reid for LaMelo Ball. But until then, thank you for joining this edition of Timberwolves Today. We'll see you again soon.